Will Kendrick Lamar be performing Not Like Us, a Grammy award-winning hit, the battle rap diss track that obliterated Drake's career pretty much? Will he be performing that at the Super Bowl come Sunday, tomorrow, February 9th? Big day, biggest game in sports. It is that time of year, and Kendrick Lamar is making history as the first solo rap performer to head a Super Bowl performance, halftime performance, and it is expected to be widely watched. Probably the numbers will be big, probably largest ever. Anyone has ever seen it. It'll be the biggest Super Bowl halftime ever. Even bigger than Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Prince. We'll see. Donald Trump himself is going to be there. Anyway, will he be performing? Now, as we know, there's a defamation lawsuit from the guy named Drake, that dude who bitched out and basically called the popo because he lost a rap battle. So he sued Universal Music Group and he sued Spotify and blah, blah, blah. And he's got a defamation suit against him because the lyrics of the song imply that Drake is a pedophile. Now, how does this play out for performing a song that's currently involved in a lawsuit? A defamation lawsuit. How do you perform that song for millions of people on a national stage, one of the biggest stages of in media of all events? How do you do that? Let's get into it. Time to Talk podcast. I'm going to tell you my thoughts and let you know what I think, and if I think he should and shouldn't do it. Some people are saying he shouldn't do it. People like Too Short. Too Short came out recently and said it's a flex move. It's a much more of a flex if Kendrick doesn't perform it. Like, just let it reside in the minds of everybody. Like, dude, we already know that you've already done it. You've already obliterated this man. It would be a big flex if you didn't even have to play that song. I strongly disagree with that. I think it's impossible, like forgetting about the actual beef, forgetting about making it an attack on Drake or adding more nails to that coffin that's already been sealed up and buried 6 to 12 feet under, right? Forget about that. Just as a song, as a hit, he just won a Grammy for it. He won 5 Grammys. And the audience and the fans and what you're going to want to hear, that is the song people are waiting to hear. To eliminate that from the set list is almost impossible. Now, from a legal standpoint, yeah, all of the counsel behind the scenes are probably, the NFL attorneys. You've got Apple Music who are putting the show together, who are producing it, who are behind it. Their attorneys, Kendrick's, they're probably all thinking like, hey, we can't do this. We don't need to have this on us, right? As far as the lawsuit and who's going to get named, like Apple Music being named in it, and then NFL being named in it because of this. The reaction could be just insane, right? The consequences could be. So they're probably advising against it, but again, it's almost impossible not to do this song. So my thoughts are A, 1, I definitely think he should do it. B, I think the only solution would be for him to change the lyrics. He's talented enough to rewrite the song in a way that avoids the defamation, the defaming of Drake's character and such along those lines, right? Like, if he does that negate, or does that sort of put a buffer between the lawsuit, the defamation part of it, by changing the lyrics? In other words, not getting on stage and calling this guy a pedophile, not getting on stage and saying, hey, minor, like, do we drop that? How do we do it? If anyone's got the creativity and the skill set to actually rewrite it to a point where the fans would not be offended by it and the fans would actually embrace it and it would come off really well done, it's Kendrick Lamar. He could do it. I do feel, though, there's also the other case that from a legal perspective, it is a rap battle, and a rap battle, reasonable people are going to be aware of the fact. In other words, making that case legally in a court, from a defense standpoint, you could argue that in a rap battle situation, the intent of that, of belittling, insulting one another, is part of the process. It's part of the game. It's part of the rules that you accepted when you got into it. When you were throwing shots, it was okay. Whether everything you said was accurate, everything was perfectly, whether it was true or not true, or you defamed the other guy. That's the entire point of the rap battle, is to insult the hell out of each other. Bring things up about their character, about their personality, about their rap skills, about their background, family, all sorts of stuff. Nothing was off limits, clearly. So it's possible to make that defense in front of a lawyer, in front of a court, in front of a judge, a jury, to say any reasonable person would accept the fact that in a rap battle situation, in that particular genre of music, that is an acceptable standard. It's not it should not fall under defamation. And Drake should have known better. Speaking of Drake, I'm just coming to close out by saying this one thing. I've been having this conversation talking about whether or not Drake could come back. What could Drake do? Here's the deal. Right now, that brother is obviously, like, he can't show his face. I mean, I'm sure he can. He's Drake, right? He's got his legacy. He's done his thing. I think, personally speaking, it wasn't until after I saw that Hot 97 freestyle thing early in his career, when I saw that clip of him reading, and he had his ghostwriter, and the notes didn't show up on his phone, and he couldn't rap, and he was just stuck, and he looked like a fish out of water. That's when I knew he was a total fraud. He's a manufactured rapper. He had the look. He's half Jewish, half black. He fit whatever profile they wanted to push out there. His ghostwriters, his whole team, he is a machine, and they built him because this guy was a total herb prior. Okay, so that's my thoughts on Drake in general. As I've also said in the past, I think he's got a slight amount of talent, and the team behind him that made Drake has done some great work. For the most part, I'm not a fan of him as far as a hip hop artist because he makes songs for like 13-year-old girls. That's what he's been doing. All of that said, he has created a place in hip hop. He has created his lane. He has done his thing. Whether that was with the help of ghostwriters and produced, like whatever it was. He's done some stuff. He's got his money, he's got his fame, he's got his awards. He's not going anywhere as far as that goes. Here's my point. Moving forward, for him to show his face, for him to sort of regain some sort of respect, he's going to have to drop an album unlike anything we've seen. Forget about his career. Forget about him besting every album he's ever done. He's going to have to create an album that holds its place in hip hop history as one of the greatest albums in hip hop history. He would have to drop something so fire that even his non-fans are like, whoa, like that's a must have. That album right now, I'm hearting that in my title catalog that goes on top of the list. That's what he would have to do. And he totally, when it comes to Kendrick, he's totally got to drop that beef, right? He's got to walk away from it. In other words, it's done. That's over. I'm moving on. Turn your back on it. Be a man and move on. He certainly can't bring anything up. He can't throw any shots. That's over. That would be really bad for him. So the only choice he has is to make an album that is so fire that it's undeniable. Critics across the board, he awards the whole nine. It's the only thing he can do. And then just regain his popularity and let this whole thing fade. It was a bad year for you. Let's just leave it alone. That's all he can do. He'd have to make an album where he's going to have his natural fans, the people who stood by him, the people who are still standing by him now. He's going to have those fans, and he'll have a few people who convert, or people who didn't believe, or people who were kind of hating on him. And once that album drops, people are going to give him a little more respect, even if it's a little bit. And again, he's got enough money. He's going to chill. He's going to do his thing. He's going to be Drake. But that's the only way. That's the only way he comes back with a legitimate amount of respect. Anyway, Time to Talk Podcast. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think he should perform Not Like Us? Are you looking forward to it? Are you also rooting Eagles or Kansas City? Which is it? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you're a Drake. Let me know if you've been a Drake fan. Do you think that were you a Drake fan and then the battle happened and you kind of lost respect for Drake for the whole lawsuit thing? Let me know what you got to know, what you think in the comments below. Hit subscribe if you've not subscribed, along with the notification bell so you know when I put up new content. And hit the like button on the way out. I truly appreciate that because that makes a big difference. It takes a second. Click like, boom, then bounce. I'll see you on the next Time to Talk Podcast. Peace.